Can't even see you over there. Hey, everybody, welcome to Muni Misfits in the morning. We got some sound issues. Hold on. What's going on, Pace?
Oh, I'm controlling it from my computer.
All right, try now.
Now we good?
Where's that coming out of?
Oh, it's coming out of this. Check this out. How we doing now? All right. Gosh, we are problem solvers this morning. All right, welcome. My name is Israelson. I'm head golf professional at Osgood Golf Course. Sitting to my left and right, I've got Greg McCullough, head golf professional at Edgewood, and then Matt Cook, head golf professional at Rose Creek. Behind the scenes, we've got our pace of play, our ranger, our marshal, Pace Meyer. He keeps us on task. And we also have special guest Chris Croach, PGA teaching professional. Between all of us, we are the Muni Misfits. Gentlemen, welcome. Never a disappointment, always a pleasure.
It's great to be back in the Osgood bike and skate shop. This is fantastic.
You know, we can't get golf clubs, but we can get skateboards. So come on down.
Are you guys on the new operating cardboard 3.0 system with your laptops over there? I mean,
Where did you get that?
Well, you know what? I special handling, special services, ordered off Amazon. You know, you guys are making me feel guilty every week. You guys are sitting here with my lap. I had my piece of paper, which I don't need anymore because I have the newest laptop.
So are you going to get some like rad stickers to throw on the back of it? Or are you going to get some?
No, it's over.
It's Earth Day. Better
Earth Day.
recycle
There we
that.
go. We will.
Okay. So Cookie, what's cooking?
I tell you what, you've got some grass out here today. We're not looking out at white. But I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but my number for day is 1. Because I went to Greg McCullough's weather forecast. He says, I got to go to weather channel. All right. He doesn't accept anything else. So I go there. That's how many days they have forecasted above 50 through May 1. 1.
It's usually Greg that's the black cloud.
I know it.
And you're bringing us just awful weather.
That's bad news for Friday morning. But the good news is, you know, we do have at least a couple local courses that are going to give it a go. You may need your Brawley this weekend, but
your what?
Your Brawley. I feel like we're in England, aren't we?
What's a Brawley?
Yeah.
Well, same as like a wet stick. Drizzle stick.
What's a wet stick?
A Brawley.
What's a wet stick?
Greg, it never rains in Greg's world.
No, well,
an umbrella.
Oh, an umby. Got it. Okay, got it. A Brawley. An umby. I got it now. Thanks for that.
No, but other than that, you know, it's great to be back on a Friday morning.
Yeah.
It's great to have Chris Croach because now we have a wealth of knowledge. So hopefully tell your friends right now to tune on in because you may just actually improve your game by 10 to 12 shots just watching
just by
Chris
watching.
Today.
So
you might have to give up a few shots.
That reminds me. So be sure that if you this is live.
This is live.
If you didn't
Which
think
is really scary, actually.
So go ahead, comment on Facebook, YouTube. Pace will get us the comments, right?
Yeah, we do have one comment from Mr. Jim. He says he heard Edgewood is opening the range today, Greg.
That is untrue. He was out hitting balls yesterday, though. I had to kick him off the range yesterday. Yes.
Is that fake news?
That is fake news. That is 100% fake news.
So, Jim, thanks for the comment. Also, anyone, just go ahead and comment. We'd love to take your comments, suggestions, ideas as we're going live here. So, Pace, we're on social with Facebook, YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Where's the subscribe button? That way. Okay. Hit that subscribe. How many subs are we up to?
I think 52.
I feel really cool when I get to say subs and not subscribers, right?
The kids say.
Yeah, that's right. So, Adia, we're gunning for you. That's my daughter. She says that, you know, we need to at least get up to triple figures before she can even recognize us as a legitimate YouTube channel. So, we're going to get there. So, anyways, guys, let's run down what whoa, great graphic, Pace. Look at that. All right. We're going to run down the show. First, we're going to start out with our special guest, Chris Croach, and we're gonna talk about instruction. Then we'll dive into leaderboard, 2 on, 2 off, and I got some kind of some fun news that we can dish out and talk about.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Are you? All right, sounds good. first, let's kind of lean into Chris Croach. I ran into you as I was leaving the shop last night, and I was super excited to talk about instruction today. And you were like, yeah, we can totally get weird with instruction. Sure. So tell me, what does getting weird with instruction mean?
Mean to me?
Yeah.
Or
mean to you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's, yeah, I mean, there's, you can go 3 feet down that rabbit hole if you want to, and I enjoy that, I mean, I think that's really cool. But I mean, there's any number of things. I mean, obviously, you can go on YouTube like we are right now. I mean, there's a ton of stuff there, I mean, there's some information that's good, some information that's bad, obviously. I mean, you need to know what to filter, but I don't know. I mean, the thing that really kind of sparks my interest in things like that, right, is learning more about the things in the golf swing that you can't necessarily see, the things that you can feel. So you start talking about like forces and torques and stuff like that. I'm sure you've all heard that. I mean, it's a deep rabbit hole to go down, right? But to me, it's really interesting. I mean, when you start to learn some of the basics and foundations of it, and then you start to watch someone's golf swing, right? You can start to organize the puzzle pieces or connect the dots, however you want. Yeah, okay, I think I understand why this person is doing this right now, and maybe, might, possibly, who knows?
We're laughing because Cookie over there is just
I'm
deep.
I'm deep in thought already.
Yeah,
Deep thought.
Yeah.
There's some forces in your golf.
I was
swing
thinking the forces and the torques.
Yeah.
There's some torque. There's some vectors.
That was just going on when I was trying to get out of bed this morning.
Just keep Cookie away from the 2-footers. Right?
So when you're teaching, let's just talk about your approach to teaching. So I'm signing up with you for a lesson. What's the first thing that you're really doing with me?
What do you want to do?
Okay, I come to you and I'm like, you know what? I don't even know.
I want to be more consistent.
Oh, I love that question, right? For those of you out there in social media land watching this, being more consistent is probably the number one question we get, or number one ask we get as an instructor. Wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, I want to be more consistent, and or I want to bomb it. I want to let her fly.
I come to you and that's what I'm giving you. I go, you know what? I feel like I'm pretty good around the greens. I can hit the driver pretty good. I just want to be more consistent. What are you doing?
How much of a rant do you want?
We want a rant.
Yeah.
I mean,
why is that a bad question? Why is that a bad thing to say? Is it a bad thing to say?
Nobody is consistent, and it's a complete waste of time to try and achieve it, right? Because I mean, if you go and you take Tiger Woods, you take Matt Cook, and you take
you're in the conversation
30 handicap golfer, right? And you send each of them out to the driving range and you let them hit 100 balls at a flag that's 150 yards away, right? Your 30 handicapper, and you go and you mark each golf ball, right? Your 30 handicapper is going to have a circle that looks like this, right? Matt Cook's is going to look like this, and Tiger Woods is going to look like this, right? The circle just keeps getting smaller and smaller. Tiger Woods is complaining about being inconsistent. He's hitting the ball all over the golf course, right? Matt Cook is complaining about being consistent. He's hitting the ball everywhere, and your 30 handicapper is doing the same thing, right? The difference is in the variability within our shot patterns, right? And too often we're just basing things off of like our best shot that we hit, right? You know, like, oh, I hit that 7-iron to 3 feet on hole number 7. Why can't I just do that every time? Well, that shot's the anomaly, you know? And it's the anomaly of all the shots that you hit, and you're not thinking about what is my average shot look like,
right?
And how do I take that circle basically and just start to point it around the golf course? And I'm going to play to my average shot, and then as far as improving goes, right? It's like, how do I make that circle smaller and smaller? You're still going to be inconsistent within that circle, right? But if you can make that circle smaller, well, now you can start to point that circle closer and closer to the hole, right? And the statistic out there that is most closely correlated to scoring is proximity to the hole on your approach shots, right? So, I mean, if you can hit your approach shot closer, right? So if I use 33 feet as an example, because that's where a PGA Tour player is going to average 2 shots to hole out on average. They're going to get the ball in the hole. 33 feet is the number, right? So
everybody would have said that would have been like 100 yards, right?
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. I mean,
33 feet.
It's 33 feet, right?
It's not very. That's not a lot. That's not very big.
And what's the percentage? What percentage of the time is a tour player going to 3-putt from 33 feet? Any ideas?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a poll here. What do you think? What is the percentage?
33 feet.
Yep.
What percentage of the time is a tour player going to 3-putt?
I'm gonna go with 13%.
Okay.
I think you've told me this answer before, and I still can't. So I'm going to go the under. I'll go 11.
Okay.
44%.
What is the?
Oh, I thought we were talking about that.
It's actually higher.
Anyway.
And, okay, so what? And I'll tell everyone the answer here. But what is the likelihood? What's the percentage? What's the make percentage at 33 feet for a tour player?
I'd say
man.
1%.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 4%.
Yeah, it'd probably be kind of like 3%.
Yeah, 6. They have a 6% chance of making it. They have a 6% chance of 3-putting. It's really an easy one to remember.
Wow.
Right?
Got that,
So,
Matt?
shocker.
So there'll be a test at the end of this.
Oh yeah.
6, Matt.
Six is the number.
Okay.
666.
So think of it like this, right? I mean, if you are hitting the ball, let's see, where was I going with this again? So we're talking about getting your proximity to the hole closer, right? So at 33 feet, a tour player is going to average 2 shots to hole out, and it's going to be a 6% make. Okay. Let's say that you hit it to 8 feet, right? It's 1.5 shots to hole out, right? So you effectively hit your ball a half a shot closer to the hole, and your make percentage is 50%. So at 20 feet, a tour player is going to average 23%. At 15 feet, they're going to average 23%, and at 20 feet, they're going to average 13%. So it drastically drops off the further and further away from the hole you get, right? So I mean, making your dispersion smaller so that you can aim things closer to the hole and hit the ball closer to the hole on average is going to help you lower your score. And you figure if you got 18 approach shots in every round you play, well, I mean, even if you're gaining 1/10 of a stroke here or like 5/100ths of a stroke, right? I mean, you just sit and nickel and dime it, and all of a sudden, all those things add up.
Yeah. So
right?
and we have a question coming in. We'll get to that really soon here. So the part I love is that, contrary to like traditional teaching was all about, priming the motion on the lesson tee, but now you're really, flipping the script and going statistically, on these and saying like, we have to be able to track these statistics so that way we can really hone in on what it is.
Yeah. I mean, and there's some really, like great apps out there right now that you can get to track some of your stats that are actually like, they're really simple to input your information.
I got like Golf Metrics.
Yeah, Golf Metrics is great. That's Mark Brody's. So
That
Mark
one's
Brody
good.
is kind of the inventor of strokes gained. And it's super good. Like it's going to give you some great information that you can, instead of just emotionally thinking, oh, well, I drove the ball bad today.
Yes.
Right. That you can look at your trend over 5 rounds or 10 rounds and say, hey, you know what? Like I'm going in the right direction, or no, I'm not going in the right direction.
All right, let's hit up. Looks like North Dakota Basketball Hub chiming in on YouTube here, right? What if I'm faced 45 degrees left on my tee shot to play my slice? Any drills to work on to fix that? Where are you going with that guy?
Well, there's a hole
Or gal, don't know.
in Erskine. I think it's hole number 7. And it's about a 90-degree dogleg par 4. That'd be a good hole to play.
So honestly, though, what is your best?
Fertile, actually. Sorry. Hole number 7 at Fertile.
What is-
Perfect one for you.
What's your best slice buster drill? I think we all as instructors kind of have our go-to. What is your, like, if you're working on a guy that just seems to, a guy or a gal, seems to struggle with spinning the ball to the right for a right-handed player. What are you doing?
So Croce, before you answer this,
Yeah.
what give everybody out there what actually causes a slice?
There you
Sure.
go.
Okay. Obviously we're going to say it's an open club face, but
Mhm.
it's an open club face to what?
It's an open face to the path, right? So I mean, if you're thinking about, like, okay, the club head is traveling 3 degrees to the left, the face is 3 degrees to the right. That's a pretty wide margin, but it's easy to visualize. So the face is to the right of the path if you're a right-handed golfer.
We totally needed a whiteboard for you today, so you could be like drawing all the. We need. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and really there's 2 things. I mean, one is the face to path relationship, or where you hit the ball in the club face, right? I mean, you could have a square, a face to path that are going in the same direction, but if you hit it off the heel, it's going right. So, because of gear effect on the club head. So
what are you telling this person?
it depends.
Yeah.
It depends. Yeah, I mean, you can't really tackle one without tackling the other. They kind of both go together, So
Yep.
I mean, like, I would probably try and fix the face first, right? And get the person to start hitting some poles. And then after that, like, and explain to them, like, here's the benefit of you hitting the pole, right? I mean, it's better than where you were at before. The ball's not curving so much. It's going to go farther. And play that for a while. And don't be afraid. Like, don't subscribe to the railroad tracks. I need to aim straight, right? Just aim right and pull it.
Easy with that don't subscribe stuff. When you say don't
Sorry.
subscribe,
No.
yeah, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Don't subscribe to that, whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
so I mean, just aim right and play the
nice
pole,
face.
and
Appreciate that.
aim right, play the pole, and then after a month when you got it, come back, and then you start working on the next piece. So
awesome. Hey, anyone out there wanting some swing tip advice, go ahead, chime in on Facebook, YouTube. We got Chris Croce on here, the swing guru. He'd be happy to chime in and let you know what you need to be working on. So what else is going on with you as far as instruction these days? You're, by the way,
not much. It's pretty cold out.
Yeah.
So,
for those that don't know, and obviously through this little bit of advice that you've been giving, everyone kind of knows you as, you're very, I got to tread lightly when I say this, you're very technical.
Mhm.
You've got all the tools, right? Tell us about your tech that you use.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy that side of things. I like being able to put some objectivity into it. Instead of everyone thinking, okay, this is what I did. It's like, well, why guess when you can measure, right? I mean, it's kind of the old adage. I have a launch monitor. I use a GC Quad. Gives me more information than most people need.
Yep.
But it's good information, right? I mean, you can start to look for patterns and how people do things, and if you change the pattern or not. I have a pressure mat called Body Track that allows you to be able to see like where your pressure is moving in your swing. And you can do some really neat stuff, like be able to kind of say, okay, this is how you delivered the club. This is how you moved, I use video in every lesson that I do. Some people like video, some people don't. I get it. I need to use it in every lesson I do.
Sure.
If you don't change the picture on the phone, you really didn't change anything, right? I'm very big on that, so, but it also allows me, I document all my lessons that I do, so it's like if someone comes to me and I don't see them for a year, I can literally look back and say, well, this is what we did. Did you do what we were talking about? So
Yep.
it's, I don't really miss a beat when someone sees me over the course of a summer. I'm always progressing and moving forward. So
Very cool. You got something chiming in here?
Yeah, another comment here. I'm a lady. How do I generate more power?
That's the $1 million question that everyone's looking for. I mean, it's a good one, right? I mean, the first thing that I would suggest is getting assessed, right? And in getting assessed in the side of things, like trying to find out what your main power source is, right? Because we're all driving the car differently, right? So back to like when I was talking about forces and torques, right? I mean, we're putting forces on the club with our hands, right? If we didn't do that, the club wouldn't move, okay? But we're also putting forces in the ground with our feet that cause our body to move, right? And if we can start to get a baseline, right? So that's where, again, I use my GC quad, right? I have someone hit some golf balls and I can tell you how fast you're swinging, okay? I can tell you how fast the ball's going. I can tell you your smash factor. That's just how solidly you hit the golf ball, okay? From there, I have some assessments that I can do that are going to tell you whether you tend to use more linear force, okay? That's just think of like your feet moving right to left, okay? I can tell you if you're using more vertical force. That's just how much you're jumping. And I can also tell you how much you're using a torque force. Okay, that's just your feet pushing this way into the ground to make your body turn, right? And we can use all that technology to actually be able to verify, like, yes, you did this, or no, you didn't, right? So that we can come up with an accurate prescription for, yeah, this is the road I think you should go down, right? And then the biggest thing for the person from there, right, is stick with it. I see too many people that it doesn't work today. That doesn't mean that it's not going to work tomorrow, or the next day. You need to be consistent. You got to stick with it long enough to get it. I see too many people that, oh, it didn't work, I'm going to quit. No, it doesn't work that way.
That is one of the toughest things as an instructor is just trying to maintain that schedule with the students to keep that progress going. Because if you're not doing the work, you're coming back to the lesson working on this same exact thing, right? So
I'll add one other piece to that too. Like without a doubt, the easiest, biggest way that you can get distance right now is just make your hands travel in a bigger circle around your body.
Love that.
Right. I mean, and that's something anyone can do, right? It's not hard. Golfers who say you're inflexible, no, you're not.
Well, yes, I am.
No, you're not. You can turn more. Everyone who plays this game can make a bigger turn, right? And you can make your hands travel in a bigger circle. The bigger circle your hands travel in, the more time you're going to have to apply force in the downswing, and the faster the club head's going to go.
Okay, so now I can see this happening. Now someone's going to take this advice and they're going to go, okay, Croce told me to make a bigger circle, and now is that going to be at the cost of the club face at the bottom, the path, the relation of the two? If I'm making this giant circle, what's going to be happening then?
You know what? It's going to be different for a little bit, and you might have to relearn a little bit.
And can I do that too much? Can I turn
totally.
too much?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just like anything, you can overdo it, you know. So, and it's not so much, like us as instructors, right? Is we're trying to help someone out. I mean, we're not really telling people how to do things, right? That's kind of what the golfer wants, right? But it's not what they need. Okay, I mean, it's more about like, hey, here's the big picture concept, right? And within that concept, I need you to do this, but let's discover what works best for you, right? I mean, that's why kids learn the game so good, right? Because you watch like young boys that go to the chipping green, right? And what do? They screw around, and they hit flop shots, and they hit bump and runs, and they use their wedge to hit like 15 different shots. And it's like, yes, that's the way we should be learning.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But we get older, right? And we all of a sudden start having this idea that like there's one way to do it. And like, no, there's not.
I think we change the way we think we should be learning, right? We get more structured, and that exploration part that you're talking about is vastly underrated. And just when
if you could use a word stronger than vastly, I would.
Yeah,
it's that important.
I agree. So
go to the range and just screw around, or go to the putting green, screw around, like that's where you're learning.
So again, this is Chris Croach. He's a PGA teaching professional. He's going to be hanging out at Prairiewood this year and a little bit at Rose Creek. And if you guys need any instruction, feel free to reach out to Chris Croach. He'd be happy to help you out. So I don't know. Do you have to get going?
I got a few minutes.
Okay. So you can stick around for, okay. Feel free to, if you need to vamoose. We're going to talk about, we got the leaderboard to talk about, and we also got the 2 on 2 off. By the way, do you have the agenda, our leaderboard?
I do.
I look on my laptop, but it's on the floor.
It's being recycled at the moment.
You're just recharging.
My operating system is down.
All right, so Matt, why don't you just lead us into the leaderboard here?
Leaderboard.
Yeah.
Maybe we go ahead.
No, you want me to?
Oh no, I was just
gonna. Go ahead.
Did you call me a goat head?
Yeah, I did.
Maybe we start off with the leaderboard and maybe start out with what's going on right now as far as on the PGA. And Tom Hoagie, once again, is playing this week with, I believe it's his college partner. I think they're about middle of the pack right now at 6 under. Leading the charge is probably no surprise with Xander and Cantlay. They fired a 59 yesterday, so that was off to a pretty cool start. But
I, for one, enjoy the format, and I think they should be looking at doing more stuff like this. It's intriguing to me how these guys play together. I mean, we get all excited for it during the Ryder Cup and President's Cup and things like that. I'd like to see them do a little bit of mixed stuff, even with the LPGA. I think that would be super cool. I hear that a lot, or I see that a lot on social media, people talking about that. But I think this is really neat switch up. So
more team golf.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more ways than just watching stroke play week in and week out. So I'm intrigued by it. What's your take?
Yeah, I think it would be great if the tours could figure out how to get the ladies and the guys to play together. At least start once. I know they used to have it back in my day. They used to have the J.C. Penney Classic, I think, where they did play together. They do it. There's a team competition in March, I think, in Florida, where there's a limited number of doing it. But I think it'd be really cool if they could figure that out. And obviously, it's not as easy as just saying, "Okay, we're going to do it." There's some logistics there as well. So I think it'd be cool.
Yeah. Also we look on the LPGA Tour. We've got Amy Olsen playing this week out. What is it? I think is it the LA Open?
Yep.
And I think she opened with 4 over her first day, but she did have some excitement as far as to her day. And
What do you mean, Matt?
Well, speaking of the number of the day, number 1, she made a 1 on hole number 18 yesterday to finish out her round, and so that was really pretty cool. I think I believe that is her. I don't know how many she's had out on the tour. I think she had one on 2020 in the U.S. Open.
How many do you have, Matt?
I've got, once again, the record for the day is 1.
Rochi, how many do you have?
Oh, and you got to think about it. It's a lot.
You on my laptop
No,
to
I think
figure it out?
3.
You have 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Chris? 0?
0 times.
Wow. We're
Yep.
gonna.
You must have known that, Greg. That's how
No,
you
I
brought
did.
this up.
Honest to God, I did.
I will own that. Seriously, I'll own that. I just, for whatever reason, it just doesn't go in. So, yeah.
Greg?
I have 5 actually.
5.
Yeah.
Wow. King Mac over here.
No kidding.
I played a lot of golf growing up though, so I had a lot of chances.
Sure.
Those sand greens, those par 4s are reachable. So I had more opportunities than maybe you guys did.
Speaking with local talent, Chris had mentioned when we came on in, they've got the Canadian Tour qualifying going on right now out in Washington. And NDSU graduate Andrew Israelson from Staples, Minnesota. He is, I think, tied for 17th, I think we looked up right now. And
Awesome.
You said the top 20.
I think top 20, get conditional.
Status.
Yeah, or maybe it's like 5 through 20 get conditional status. So
Yeah.
And there's, I don't know if they still do this, but they used to separate it out between Canadians and non-Canadians, where the non-Canadians, maybe their number was a little smaller than the Canadian force. I don't know if they still do that, but I remember was whatever a while ago used to be top 20, and then it was like the top 10, 15 Canadians plus others.
Mhm.
I think obviously they're having qualifying now. They can't do it in Canada, but I always
Mhm.
think it's funny you have a Canadian Tour qualifier in the States.
Yeah.
And they are this summer. Actually, it would be great if Andrew was able to make that tour. And they're having one of their tour events in the States this year.
Yep.
At Cragen's Golf Course in Brainerd, not too far from where Andrew grew up, I guess. And
Yeah.
so that'd be awfully cool if he was able to make it and maybe play right in Brainerd, Minnesota. And so best of luck to Andrew out there.
I heard we're going on tour. The show's going on tour there.
Oh, that'd be great.
We
I
need
love it.
on-site. We need some on-site stuff. We need actually the weather to cooperate with us a little, so we can actually move
I know.
this little table outside and
Agreed. It's pretty cool when we can connect to the outdoor
Yeah.
space rather than
we can actually do some tips, or we can see
For
some
sure.
swings, which we maybe are gonna next week. Maybe Pace, are we seeing your swing next week? Are we roasting swings
This week.
This
Oh,
week?
yes,
perfect.
okay.
Oh yeah,
We got to get rolling
yeah,
then
we gotta
here.
go.
Okay. So what else we got? Is that leaderboard right there? Is that everything?
There is actually one more that maybe Greg wants to announce. It has a 1 on in it. That's pretty cool. And Greg's got a member over at his place.
Oh yeah, we had one of our Fargo Golf Edgewood members turn 100 this week. Wendell Johnson comes and plays. If you follow my Twitter, you've probably seen him with his playing partner Max Olsen, and I think this year they'll be together 194.
Wow.
So happy birthday to Wendell, who turned 100 this week. It's pretty cool. And you know what? He comes and plays 9 holes. And if he doesn't come and play, he usually comes and hits some balls too. So it's pretty cool to see that movement, right? If I'm going to hit it farther, I got to keep my body in motion. All
You
right.
want to close that piece? It's live,
That means
folks.
I'm supposed to.
That's pretty cool, though. We always talk about golf being a lifelong
Yes.
sport.
Yep.
Here, Wendell is playing into 100.
And he
That's
actually
pretty
didn't
awesome.
take it up till later in his life. So he has not been playing 85, 90 years. I think he's 100. He's only been playing like 45, I think. So, but
He's
it's
playing
pretty cool. It's pretty
45.
cool. Well, you're not even that old yet.
No.
Some of us are way older than that.
Well, that's really cool. So,
Well, guys, I better hit the road here.
all right.
so-
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Really
for sure.
appreciate it. Don't know how you're leaving, but here we go.
Sure.
There's a
Find a way.
skateboard right over there if you want. Thanks, Croce.
We should have figured out the exit plan. Here we go.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Okay, guys. How about I slide in right here?
That was kind of like right on cue. The vacuum starts on up, and Chris has got to exit.
All right.
Nothing like live programming.
Totally. All right. Let's roll into. We got 2 on 2 off.
We got 2 on 2 off.
You got that? 2 on 2 off. 2 on 2 off. Oh, look at that snazzy graphic. Way to go.
Maybe we could start out with 2 off or 2 on. Let's go with 2 on.
Go with
We've got
whatever
enough
you
negative
want.
stuff going on the day already.
It's
today.
your show. We're just living in it.
We're just living it. 2 on. Maybe I'll start on out. Let's go with Jordan Spieth as far as winner last week. Wins on Easter.
He's an Easter
Yeah.
winner.
Year
I saw
before,
that
last
stat.
victory.
Yep.
Yes. The victory before that was on Easter of 2021. I think it was the Valero, that particular one. And so, of course, when they were talking to him post round and said, you know what's going on next Easter, don't you? The Masters.
Yeah.
So, maybe if we get to back to back to back, Jordan will go from wearing the plaid jacket to the green jacket.
Man,
So-
all the storylines that can align for that one, the media is just going to absolutely love that. So,
Yeah.
I better work on our credentials to go, Pace.
yeah.
I'm trying.
Live from, it won't be Augusta, but it'll be
From a
Augusta or
parking lot,
someplace
or-
like that. Yeah.
He's a hard guy not to like. It was fun to see him win
Yeah.
last week and get back once again. And so
All right. What else we got? That's an on.
that's an on. That's an
Okay.
on.
Are we going for a on again, or are we going
Let's
for
go
an off?
on again.
Okay. What do you got for another on?
Well, I'll let Greg talk about as far as with the Zurich going on this week. I think there's kind of a special team as far as the Zurich this week with Bill Haas and Jay Haas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so Bill Haas, and I don't remember how many years ago, probably 5, maybe 6.
We need a fact check on that.
Bill
When-
Haas, PGA Tour, FedEx Cup winner.
what year was
I
that?
don't know. He's
Yeah.
the guy who hit it out of the water pond right at East Lake and won. Is that correct? That was him, or was not that? Am I thinking of somebody else?
I don't know.
Anyway,
yeah.
So he is using his one-time money earned exemption this year, so he gets to play. And he chose a partner this week that, he chose his dad Jay to play with him, which is pretty cool, I think. But you would think that maybe, I think they said he's missed 15 of the last 18 cuts, so he needs to make some money, but he still picked his dad to play with him this week, which that's pretty cool.
That's really neat to see. And also, like, I don't get how guys, you just get to pick your partner on this.
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
So it's got to be consensual.
No, I'm not going to play with you.
Exactly.
Oh, yes, you are. Oh, no, I'm not. Yes, that would be a perfect first tee one. That's a bit. That's a first tee bit.
There must be, I don't know there must be some eligibility. I mean, he wouldn't probably, I didn't get the phone call.
Right.
I'm assuming he didn't have my number, but I don't think he would have been able to have me as a partner.
Well, one guy has the eligibility and they can pick their partner.
Whoever they want. Yeah.
But
Well, that's pretty cool.
I think Jay must be probably 67, 68 probably.
Yeah, he might be closer to my age, 70, 72, something like that.
You think that golf course might be playing a little long for Jay?
Yes.
That'd be tough.
Yes.
That's awesome that they're able to play together.
Yeah, it's cool.
I can't imagine, I don't know, do you think they would have ever played like in the father-son, that type of deal? I don't remember having seen them as a team before.
I don't know. I don't think so.
But other than that, you see something like that. It is cool. Like even locally around here, sometimes you'll see like, father, son, mother, daughter, father's daughter, whatever it is, tournament stuff like that. You can play as amateurs. I can imagine like, growing up with your father being a successful PGA Tour player, just never had those opportunities.
There's just not a lot of tour players who are fathers where their sons or daughters get to be to that level.
Right.
It just doesn't have. I mean, we think about it all. I mean, we think about Nicholas's and players and Torino's, and there's just, it's hard to recreate that talent and that whatever that break to be that good, because golf isn't like you can just go get signed and you're going to go play, right? I mean, there's lots of steps there to get to be better and to try to qualify.
All right, rolling into what do we got for the offs now? Off the path. What's off the path right now? Oh, that's right. The high school boys. Brutal. Okay, so that kind of, I mean, every week we talk about the weather and how it's not cooperating, and the bummer of all this is that you got the high school boys golf teams. Their season is going to like fall on a weekend. It seems like right now. They're normally starting they start meetings like the April
11th. I think this year was their first time they could get together. So they have to have so many practices. So I would think, right around that 20th of April, which is a couple days ago, they should be going. And it's the what does a spring sport system look like with all of them? I mean, it's not just golf.
Yeah.
It's everybody trying to do it. Golf is even a little worse because nobody's open yet, or the weather's bad, or you think you're going to play and the weather turns bad, and we're going to get potentially another 15 inches, 16, 17, 18 inches of snow this weekend. How can we, is there a way to make that better? I mean, do they have to play longer?
Right.
I mean, we obviously in school, they're done with school. I mean, can they play longer than that so they get a little better weather? Is there ways that we can maybe say, okay, here's the deal. Spring sports is fine every 5th year, 3rd year, 4th year. Should they be playing in the fall?
We actually did just get a comment in here. I saw Class B girls move to fall, and we will see everyone move. Will we see everyone move to the fall?
There's obviously, it's not just something that ADs and schools and just say we're going to move to the fall. I mean, there's some logistics there, but I think to the benefits of the kids playing, it would be great, right? If you could have a summer to play and you go right into your season. I mean, the girls Class A does that. The girls get all summer to play. And again, if you're looking to jump to that next level,
I was just going to say that.
I mean, if you're going to go from high school to college, the kids here sometimes are at a disadvantage, obviously with the weather anyway, but if you're a college coach and you're just looking at scores, it's harder because A, they haven't played in 6 months, and B, they're playing in whatever, 35 degrees. So there's some challenges there. I think there's a more of a movement to get it that way. The first answer is always, well, we can't do that because of other sports. Well, let's try to figure out a way that we can maybe do that. And it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard.
And you got state at your place.
We do.
At Rose Creek.
We have the EDC, I think it's right around the latter part of May, and then state that first week of June, I believe it is.
So clock is ticking right now. We're sitting at close to closing in on the end of April now. And we're looking at a state tournament first week of June.
Yeah,
so
you probably have 40 days, about 40 days from today until they have their state tournament.
Yeah.
Well, we feel for you guys.
Yep.
So hopefully we get some good weather in here and we can play a lot of golf, get those events in. So what else we got for the offs?
I've got to pivot just slightly.
Oh, go ahead.
Speaking of pivot, I've got to go with the NBA. I know it's
Oh, no.
I know this is golf, but just like some of the other Minnesota teams in the past, kind of sucked me on in.
So off.
The T-Wolves sucked me in late this year. I wanted to believe in them. Did I have aspirations or thoughts or beliefs that I ever thought they'd win the championship? No. But did I think this was their opportunity, especially playing against Memphis, that maybe there's that opportunity to get out of the first round finally? Yes, I definitely thought so. And last night, getting out to a 26-point lead, I'm thinking, here we go.
Were you locked in?
Oh,
last
my
night?
gosh. I'm telling you what, I was in my 5th Diet Pepsi. Life was good. And then typical Minnesota fashion, we go from scoring like 39 points in the first quarter to 12 in the second, where we look like NBA champs to, competing at the bottom of the Northern Sun. It was just brutal.
Thanks, Pace. That was classic. Love it. Great graphic.
And so, so that was really disheartening, And then just as they dwindle their lead down to single digits, they rebound and get it back up to 20. And I go, here we go again. We got like a 21-point lead, only to lose to Memphis last night by 9 at home and go down 2-1 against the Memphis Grizzlies.
So are they going to win another game?
Oh, Pace says yes.
Pace says yes.
I'm saying Wolves in 6 still.
Whoa. Okay.
Got like 3 in a row.
3 in a row.
Wow.
That's
an awesome fan right there. That's awesome.
Optimistic.
No, it's awesome.
True
fan,
Minnesota fan.
You know what? Pace is a lot younger than I am. He has not lived the pain and agony as I have.
But they are a 7th seed, correct?
Mhm.
And they are playing the number 2 seed, correct? So again, we got to cheer for them. Although last night it was hard. It was really hard to watch the end of that game. It was.
They are truly a 2-on-12.
Yeah, 100%. Brought to you by the Minnesota T-Wolves.
And their first and third was definitely on, and their second and fourth quarters were definitely off. So that was kind of my
I love it.
off that I had to just kind of get off the bill of my hat, because that one was just disheartening last night. I'm tired of wasting my 3 hours. Speaking of, I tell you what, even game 2 of that, I hate to consume our time with the NBA, but holy smokes, 50 minutes I think it took for the first quarter at Memphis the other night. 50 minutes.
Is that a problem?
They had to go like rotation like midway through the first quarter for their whistles, I think, because they wore out. I think there's only so many blows in those whistles or whatever, and it wore on out. I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyway,
they don't have.
I'm done with the Wolves.
Play guy we have.
That's right.
I unfortunately say the Wolves will go down in 6. I think they will actually win the game at Minnesota, and I think they'll lose it at Memphis, and will once again be very mediocre.
Well, they made a step, right? They made the playoffs.
Well, so far they've won one playoff game, just like they did back in, what was it, 2003 or something. 3, yeah.
That's like the Minnesota.
So we've got 2 in the 2000s.
But they're in the playoffs. They're not home. Cat's not playing Golden Valley, right? I mean, he's playing basketball.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
It'll get better.
Got to be a fan, man.
Yeah. So that was solid. Hey, that was solid 2-on-2 off segment. I love it. That was good stuff. Are we rolling into a swing roast coming up here? Okay.
Yes. So here's a swing roast. I was in Arizona for Easter, and my first shot on.
Yep.
divot there, not a clean shot.
You're chasing after it. So here, play that one more time. Let's
Yep,
see that again. Line at the bottom. What were you searching for at your divot or your ball?
My ball.
both.
Water retention pond.
Speaking of divots, did you see the torque of that divot?
Oh yeah, solid. Great
Okay,
rotation
so
on that divot.
We see or we hear. You just said a couple of terms, right? So Chris Larson.
Yep.
What do you mean by steep? What is steep?
Good. Okay. Well, steep is just kind of the way that club is delivered into the golf ball. Okay. So like if I got a golf ball, actually right here, right? And that's my golf ball. And if I am hitting the golf ball this way and I'm coming in steep, my angle of attack into that golf ball is steep. That is going to, in fact, impart some spin on that golf ball. And it's going to be very, very difficult for that club face to get square at the bottom. So usually when we see people that get really steep, not all the time, but a lot of the time, that steepness comes from swinging over that top, right? Would you agree with that?
Okay, so that's terminology. What does over the top mean?
Yeah.
Over the top of what? Over the top of my head? Over the top of
Yes. Yeah.
the ball? Over the top of
over the top, meaning that we are swinging over the top of the golf. So that swing is coming from the top down. So I'm kind of just making a hacking motion,
Okay.
right? So if that club goes across the golf ball, if I'm a right-handed player and it's coming across from the right to the left across that golf ball, that's that classic left to right spin. And where was the golf ball going pace in that?
Straight short.
Straight short.
Straight short.
Okay. So
Straight short.
so
If
deep.
you believe it or not.
So the one thing that I always see too is like when I see steep rhymes with deep, right? So a lot of times people that get really, really steep on the golf ball tend to take deep divots because, it's really difficult for that club to then, as it's coming down very, very steep, to then shallow it out. Those are two different types of motions. So a lot of that, I don't know what you guys see, but I see a lot of times from that backswing gets sucked inside really, really quick. And by inside meaning I'm turning that club face closer to my body as it's coming inside. And then that usually tends to go opposite and go over the top, creating that steep and across the line. So the first thing I would probably start doing is trying to maybe adjust the backswing a little bit and make sure that I can get that club a little bit shallower as the club comes down through the golf ball. But that's my first take on, without really, we got that little snippet there. And, but the first thing I see is that club's getting really steep and across the line at the bottom.
So as we go forward with this show, if we have a episode 5, 6, 7, at least when we be able to get outside, we can be able to take pace and show pace and everybody else kind of what we see maybe in that motion.
Yeah.
And what the terminologies, steep, deep, all that good stuff.
Can we see it one more time?
Yeah.
You see, if we have a show 5,
Yep.
The golf course.
It was beautiful. 85
looked-
degrees, perfect shape.
Looked lush.
Yep.
Wow. Does the superintendent know you just absolutely decimated his tee line? Because that tee line looked perfect, by the way.
No, he does not know that. So I hope he's not watching.
Well, yeah. So, all right. Hey, you guys got anything else to add for the swing roast of?
No,
Pace-
I think
pace of play?
as we get going, and this is the first time we got a chance to look at it, so we'll kind of go through some things and maybe get out on a driving range
Right on.
hopefully at some point, and we'll kind of show maybe what we think we need to see.
Love it.
We can certainly have people send us their
Yeah,
videos if
that's
they want
solid.
to. If they want to, we're not going to roast them, but we can kind of show maybe what we would like to see in those.
Unless they want to get roasted.
Well, unless they want to, sure. Roast this, maybe that's the segment.
roast this.
I don't know. We'll see.
We got to get a graphic for that pace. Roast this.
Or
All right.
or if you have any questions.
Oh, hey, bam.
Or if you have any
You are just the man with graphics
Yeah.
today. Look at
Or
that.
if anybody has any questions, they can send them to us and we can talk about it on our show.
I love
That'd
it.
be really good.
We got anything else today? Okay. I think this is probably a pretty good stopping point. But before we do that,
Go ahead.
are you going to give? No, you give a great PSA.
That.
Public service announcement.
When you get older, that means something else. Just so you know that. We have PSA tests as we get older. Okay. Anyway, right? Facebook, Edgewood, Osgood, Rose Creek, YouTube, Muni Misfits, FargoGolf.net. Buy your season pass online. Pro shops are open. When are we going to open? So this is like 4th week in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say we're going to open this week, sometime.
This week.
Yep. Next week.
Next week.
Yes. I would say.
Before May 1.
Yes. Oh, and again, are we super late? We're later than, we're almost a little past average. It's not May 1st, right? Next week is still April. I'm going to say we're going to have something going towards the end of next week.
I think that even today looked really gloomy. Stepping out of the car, you still feel the heat. We're almost snow free at this point, so I think we're definitely, golf is on the menu, right?
Correct.
So yeah,
I think it's going to be just nutty when we finally get there. So
my
if you want to
gosh.
avoid the rushes, stop in the golf shop or go online, get those season passes now. So there's no delay.
And you can get those online.
You can.
Yeah, you can purchase them right online.
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 I have to get
On
my
the line.
operating system working better to get
Your
back
OS?
online, but we'll figure it out.
Your OS, yeah.
Yes, I'm OS.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for joining us for Muni Misfits in the morning. And if you haven't done so already, please click. It's there, right? That one. Yep. Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Let me go home and save face with my daughter. We got to get these subs up to at least 100, right? So we'll do something nutty if we get to 100 subscribers.
Hey, and subscribe because next week we got a big guest. Not making that announcement right now.
Oh,
But big guess.
Tease.
So make sure, tell your friends, tell your mom. Tune in next week.
Love
Friday
it.
morning, 7 a.m. Subscribe.
All right. Love it. We are Muni Misfits in the morning. We will see you next week.